So,
Yeah, let's do it.
Lasse, he, him from Denmark, hopefully I'm saying your name right. Please correct me if I'm not. Says, isn't trans people buying into stereotypes when they want to identify as another gender? So you are live on the line with Arden and Ben. How did I do on your name?
Yeah, you did fine. Can you hear me?
Yep. All right, you're coming through just fine. Go ahead, set it up for us. Where are you coming from on this?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to give a quick heads up. I have 2 young daughters, so which is asleep. So if I suddenly disappear, that's probably why. And now for my question, like, yeah, something. First of all, I didn't write in my written question. Would you do you differentiate on biology and social construct? Like, do you differ between those two? Can you recognize that you are born as a man, but you feel as a woman, like you're a trans woman?
That wouldn't be how I would phrase it, but sure. I'm not saying that trans women and cis women are the same.
Okay. And then I just wanted the fight that you're doing to be recognized as a woman, right? In my perspective, honestly, I accept people for whatever they want to be called, and I call them by their pronouns as they want to. But I just wonder, isn't it the wrong battle? Shouldn't we fight to break down the stereotype of what is a man, what is a woman? So, for example, me as a man, I could dress as a woman and do whatever a woman is.
Hey.
You get me?
Are you part of the trans community? Are you trans?
No, I'm not. No.
Why are you telling trans people what we should be fighting for? You're not part of this group at all.
Certainly not. I just wondered if you wouldn't agree that I understand it from your perspective that it's a personal choice, but just as I see it, it's like we should rather fight. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Before we can even engage with the fight with the rest of society, we have to exist as people, right? Like, I have to live as me. Right. I have to survive. I have to eat. I have to find shelter, right? Like, I have to meet my basic needs, correct?
Right.
And in order to meet those basic needs, I have to interact with society around me, correct?
Right.
And so in order to interact with society, there are certain things that have to be done in order to be granted a basic level of dignity. And if you have, like, we have a society that treats people differently based on how they appear in public. And that is just fact. And you have certain things that will be granted to you or taken away from you based on that. And with regard to gender, yes, there are a lot of gender stereotypes that are put upon cis people and trans people. Really, everybody in society has to confront this particular question of how they're going to present themselves to society. And we can't change how everybody out there is going to view us. But what I can do is I can make my life a little bit less miserable by not having to explain myself to every single person out there. Like, if I want to go to the store and instead of, like, I could dress up like just an androgynous person, like I could have this long hair that I used to have. I could have not undergone top surgery and I could still have chest tissue that, is fairly obvious. Or I could avoid leaning into stereotypes, if you will, but going in public would mean that people would call me ma'am. They would call me she, her. They would call me by the wrong name. They would make assumptions that then impact my mental health, number one. It would make me not want to go out in public. But also the disconnect of those traits of if you start speaking out of like, hey, actually, I am he, him, but I look different. That not only does it impact your mental health, that could impact your ability to access housing. It could impact your ability to get a job. Like, gender incongruence is very difficult to integrate with society and have. And there are people who choose to undertake that battle and they choose to have a certain expression that doesn't correlate with their identity or doesn't correlate with their specifically with their pronouns, etc. Like people may have take different aspects of different genders, and that's how they want to present. But that's also very, very hard.
Right.
And they are sacrificing something in that. So in a perfect world, should we just say fuck it to all gender norms and gender stereotypes? Sure. But is that reasonable to ask of trans people? And especially the way that the reason why I brought my point in at the beginning was that you, as someone who has not ever had to battle that decision, telling somebody else, yeah, you have to take this fight on, and not understand what that cost is. It sounds insensitive.
I totally understand. Yeah, I'm sorry if it came across.
And I know you didn't mean. I know you don't
that's-
mean it that way.
Yeah.
I know you don't mean it that way, but it's like
it's
a similar thing. If I
ideal world.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing that if I were to go back to the transracial conversations, like if I were to say, Black communities in America, you have to fight in this particular way, but I have no idea what they go through in their fight already. It's kind of like I can't be the one to tell them that.
Yeah. I want to hear what you have to say, Lassie. I have thoughts, but I want you to respond first. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense to me. But just because you guys are really smart, so I would imagine that it would still bother you somehow that you know that I don't want to say the right battle is to get rid of these stereotypes of what is a man and a woman. But you get me that I feel like if I were in your position, I would be a bit sad that I have to battle with this just to stay in society and be accepted as normal. I would, if I were in your place, I would wish that I could just break down these norms and these ideas of what is a man and what is a woman.
Well, I think we do wish that,
having
right?
to fight to get to it. Yeah.
I think that was kind of Ben's point. I think that we do wish that, but I think the issue is that, and I'm not saying you're necessarily at fault for this because this is just a really common thing people bring up. And so it makes sense that it's crossed your mind, but it's like, it gets framed as if trans people are uniquely needing to battle these gender roles, or if trans people are uniquely reinforcing gender roles, when in fact, as Ben pointed out, cis people do this all the time. I often reference, I love reality TV, right? Right now, one of the shows I'm watching is Bachelor in Paradise. On episode 2, I think it was, this new guy came onto the beach. It's a dating show, for those of you who don't know, a dating reality TV show. A new guy came onto the beach, very stereotypical image of a man, very muscular build, very handsome, symmetrical, stereotypically handsome face. And this one girl on the beach was like, wow, he's a whole man. And I'm like, what? See, it's so funny when they accuse trans people of uniquely reinforcing gender roles, when I'm like, this woman just said that this guy who happens to meet all the standards and expectations for men in culture is like, oh, that's a whole man. As if you don't have a six pack and a very square jawline, that you're a half man or a quarter man, or somehow you're losing manhood in some quantity by not meeting some sort of stereotype. And I think it's that's the frustration for me, is it feels when people bring this up to us, cis people, they're kind of showing, they're trying to accuse us of uniquely reinforcing gender roles. When I think, like Ben said, we are just following our instincts of what makes us feel good in our bodies and doing what it takes to survive. But I am out here all the time talking about that, I don't want trans people to have to be gender conforming to get by. One of the big lines in my talk is that I've been giving at conventions this year has been talking about how I don't want a destination for you. If somebody is assigned male at birth and they think they might be trans, but then at the end they decide they're a cis man and they just like to wear dresses, cool. If they transition to a woman, but they like to work on cars and be covered in mud and other stereotypically masculine things, cool. Because I don't want to prescribe somebody what being a man or woman is. I think these are identity components that have a lot to do with what our relationship to sociology and biology is. It's not about purely what society has prescribed.
I think your answer made a lot of sense. Especially, I didn't really think about there's like a lot of other people in society who enforce these, like encourage these roles. So, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Thanks for calling
and something
in.
else that I want to, something else I want to mention too is that like there are trans people who like want to dress certain ways that may coincide with stereotypes, and it's important that we allow those people to have that joy in doing those things. Like there are plenty of things that sure are stereotypically masculine that I enjoy. Like I enjoy not having to shave. It's amazing. But like sure, you could say that is not breaking down gender norms, but there are some times where I just want to do those things. Like it's okay to wear makeup. It's okay to like want to do modeling or whatever. Like it's okay to do things that are stereotypical, and we don't have to punish trans people for wanting to do some of those things. Like we're allowed to enjoy some of that stuff too.
Okay. Can I just, lastly, before I go, can I ask you guys, do you think there's any issues with people being trans? Like, do you see any issues in it at all? Like, you know, there's a lot of people who raise the question about sport or what toilet to use and whatnot. Do you guys see anything that could be seen as a problem? Also, these were silly
every
examples,
alleged problem that has been presented to me is a problem that is created by and reinforced by cis people and the people who have the levers of power in society, which are all cis people. I don't think any of these problems come from trans people. Trans people aren't uniquely predisposed to committing violence against women. We're not unilaterally possessing some athletic advantage that would cause us to dominate sports. If that was true, trans women have been allowed in the Olympics. They were allowed until this year because of Donald Trump. They were allowed for the last 20 years, and no one has even gotten a medal or anything close to it. One trans woman has competed in the Olympics, one out trans woman, and she got 11th place in weightlifting. Like, so almost all of these issues that have been proposed are ones that are manufactured by cis society. Kids aren't being rushed into transition. The standards of care for trans kids are literally designed to help them go through fertility preservation, to help them have time to make sure that this is actually the decision for them. Like every single issue, it's manufactured by cis people. And it's never has anything to do with actually trans people or transitioning itself, as far as I can tell. But I mean, I've been doing this show for 4 years, waiting for people to present an issue that is like actually the fault of trans people. And so far, I have not been convinced personally that any of them are. But obviously, I'm here every week. I'm waiting for someone to do it.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. That was
Right.
a good answer. Thanks.
Thanks, Lasse. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was relatively painless. I thought that was going to be worse than it was as well.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Snow, executive producer for The Line and avid candy eater. Hey, if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so now on Patreon or as a channel member with tiers specific to supporting specific shows and hosts. And it also supports our ability to expand programming going forward. You could also leave a super thanks down below, get a little special highlighted comment, and I'll tell you what, you could hit like and you could hit subscribe. Now, here are some video suggestions so we can fudge that algorithm. Go with one of ours. Forget everyone else on YouTube. I'm begging.